How's it going, everyone? I hope all of you are doing well. My name is Chris. Thank you guys for visiting the channel today. In today's video, I wanted to do a comparison, more like an experiment with the Akai S950 and an RX-950 plugin made by a company called Infonic. Now, I purchased this plugin not that long ago. I've had some time to mess around with it, and I personally enjoyed the plugin, but I haven't done this comparison yet, so I figure why not make a video so we can compare it together. So in case you're wondering, let me show you guys what the plugin looks like on their website. And it's right here. RX-950 by Infonic, RX-950 Classic AD to DA converter. Legendary grit and crunch. So the plugin, when I purchased it, was it cost me about maybe like $21, $22, including tax. Right now, it looks like they have a promotion where you place the code time for music and you get 25% off. So as soon as we press buy now, I guess we can click right here, get code, and you put time for music. Let's see how much. Time for music. Update. What? Time, did I spell it wrong? Oh, duh, you put two M's. Update. Nice. So you guys will pay probably about $15, $16, including tax. That's pretty good. So if you guys are interested, I'll leave the link in the description below. By no means is this company sponsoring me or whatever, just getting that out the way. I just wanted to do a little experiment just for fun to see how this plugin compares to the actual Akai S950. So let's go back to this session. So let me explain what is going on. As you can see, I have 3 audio tracks. Well, 4, not counting mine. The first one is, I titled it RX-950 because that is where I have the plugin loaded up. At the moment, I have it bypassed, but as you can see, this is what the plugin looks like. Very simple plugin, has an input gain, audio bandwidth, filter, output level, a mono button. And then on the second audio track, I have the prints of the Akai S950, where I recorded the audio and dialed in certain settings to make sure that it compares, so we can do a fair comparison with the RX-950. And as of right now, you see me, I'm bringing up the volume a little bit because the output volume on the Akai S950 is really low. I'm not sure why, but maybe I didn't have my input gain knob turned up too high. And then this last track was mainly used for monitoring. So the way I had it set up was I placed all 4 of the sounds that I wanted to sample into the Akai S950. Going out of my interface from output number 3, going into the 950, and then going back into input number 3. This external audio plugin that comes with Ableton, I know that you can do it on other digital audio workstations, but this is how you would approach it on Ableton. Allows you to listen to the audio and receive the audio without having that feedback, which can be very obnoxious and can be very painful if you are not careful. So let's just jump right into the comparisons. So this first track is a percussion loop. So I'm going to play you guys the track first without any processing done. So let me mute this, and I'm just going to play this real quick. Remember, the plugin is turned off. It is not turned on. So let's check it out. So that's the percussion loop. I have like a little vocal chop. I have a sample, a melodic loop sample. Sorry, the warp was on. Let me play that again. Pretty dope, pretty dope. And then the last one I have here is like a drum break. So let's compare the first one, that percussion loop. We're gonna set my settings to Okay, so I set the filter to 50, which I have it already set. And oh yeah, so you guys know everything, all of these samples that I recorded into the Akai S950, the audio bandwidth was set to 3000 hertz. So that's the reason why I have it to 3000 hertz. And the main reason for that is that way we can get the absolute most grittiness, most audible sound out of these samples. If I would have set it to 19,000, 10,000, maybe you would have heard a difference as well. But I just wanted to make sure that in this example, I try to make it as drastic as possible. Okay, so let's have my plugin turned on. Yep. Okay, so I'm going to solo this. And let's give it a listen. All right. Hopefully that gave you a good idea of what that percussion sounds like when we're listening to it from the plugin perspective and from the Akai S950. I will say that the plugin does a pretty good job of changing the overall tonality of the percussion loop. And I think the Akai S950 obviously does a great job as well. Okay, so what do you guys think of that? Let me know in the comment section below. Which one would you prefer? Now let's jump into the vocal chops, which I've set the setting to 30 hertz on the Akai S950. So let's alter that to 30. Sorry, not 30 hertz, but 30. Set the filter to 30. There we go. Okay, so let's play the vocal chops on the Akai S950 first. So what I'm able to tell, I think I was able to tell a little bit more difference within this particular take was because there's a lot more top end on the RX-950 plugin. The Akai S950 does a great job of kind of smoothing over that top end, giving you a lot of mid-range and a lot of low end. And the Akai S950 still has a lot of brightness, even though the filter setting was set to 30, which in my opinion is pretty low, considering, yeah, that's kind of strange of how much of the top end this plugin actually emphasizes compared to the Akai S950. But I mean, I think it still sounds pretty good. So let's jump into the melodic part of the sample. Let me just adjust the sample to this. Make sure my warp is not on, because that will definitely change the sound. So let's press play on the RX-950. My setting was 80 on the filter, so a little bit more open. Let's see, 80. Okay, so a little bit of filter effect. Okay, and that was the sample. I kind of heard that this one was a little bit pitched down. At least it sounded a little bit pitched. So I transposed this by -1 to try to get that to match as best as I could. Not sure why. I know sometimes the Akai S950 does give you an option to set a certain key. I think I might have made a mistake and set it to the wrong key. But I don't know, man. This is kind of hard because honestly, the sample sounds amazing, right? It's a great sounding melody, very groovy. And I kind of like the RX-950 better than the Akai S950. I feel like because the sample is so dynamic and so interesting, I feel like it kind of suffers putting it at 3,000 hertz with the 80% filter. But let's give it another listen just one more time. So the Akai S950 version sounds a little bit more flat to me, and that's probably because of the audio bandwidth that I set it to. Even though the RX-950 is set to 3,000 hertz, because it is a digital plugin, a lot of that high end of a sound is still going to be there. And the Akai S950, we have to keep in mind that the sampler is 12-bit. And if you add a bandwidth to that 12-bit, obviously that's when, you know, you're going to lose a lot of that high-end information. So I think it's just the only reason why I like it is because I like the high end of the sample. But I think the Akai S950 did a great job in terms of just kind of keeping it nice and warm. So on this last and final sample, it is just a simple drum groove, kick, and snare. I think there's a hi-hat in there. I don't remember. Just very simple. Obviously, a lot of people like the Akai S950 for drums because you can get that punchiness out of a kick and a snare drum. So let's compare it. I set the filter to 70 on the RX-950. I already went ahead and set my filter to 70. And so let's check it out. I'm going to press play. Now, don't get terrified. I'm not going to press play. I did crank it up by 14 decibels because there's something interesting that I hear. I hear a little bit of noise on the Akai S950 version, and it's visible right here. As you can see, that little bit of noise kind of adds a little bit to the grit. And the reason why I kind of like that noise is because it just kind of gives you a little bit more of air within the drum pattern, if that kind of makes sense. So for example, when a drummer is playing in a specific room, you get that kind of reverb, you get kind of the air and ambience and white noise of the room recorded into that whole drum performance. And a lot of the times that's kind of what helps the drum pattern or groove or performance sound a little bit more connected, a little bit more in sync, a little bit more realistic, you know, that little bit of noise. So I heard it on the Akai S950, and honestly, I like the Akai S950 drums a lot better than the RX-950. I think the RX-950 does a good job. It sounds like it's still, the filtering is doing a little bit much in terms of, instead of emphasizing on certain sections of the drum pattern. But I really like the RX-950 plugin. For anyone who doesn't want to spend $900 to $1,000 on an Akai S950, this is a great alternative. Hopefully you guys, like the plugin to purchase it. Like I said, it's only maybe $15, $16 with tax. I mean, for you to get just a little bit of character on your sounds, I think that's a pretty good bargain if you ask me. So hopefully you guys found this video useful, and I hope you guys enjoyed it, this little experiment today. Let me know if you guys want to see more videos like this in the future. Is there another plugin out there that you would like to compare? Maybe I might do the RC20, I believe that's what it's called, compared to the SP404SX, especially that vinyl sim effect. And just let me know. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys in the next video. Let's keep on making beats. Peace.